welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Noah, and welcome to another episode of The Road to Riches and an Amateur's Investment Journey here on my YouTube channel. If this is your first time viewing a video for this series here on my YouTube channel, I want to thank you for tuning in. Essentially, we are putting real money into this portfolio that I pretty much created just for this series here on my YouTube channel, and basically we're just going to be tracking it over the course of however many years I decide to do this, so then I can show you, the viewer, basically how real money performs when it's put into an investment portfolio. So with that being said, let's go over the performance for January 2024 and then the outlook for February 2024 as well. Okay, so here we are back in the dashboard that I created specifically for this video series here on my channel. So if you guys recall, we've been doing pretty well the last couple months. December returns, highlighted in green here, the actual returns superseded the projected amounts that I expected them to be based off of historical trends that each of the ETFs have seen in the last 15 years or so. So if it's green, it means it's performing at what I expected or beyond, and it just so happens that we're beyond for quite a few. There was one ETF that was in the red, essentially not yielding the returns that I was expecting out of it, but that's okay, right, because the majority were in the green. So that was December, and at the end of January, just about a week ago, after reviewing, it's pretty much the same story. We have a lot of green, and then that same ETF is unfortunately still in the red. I'm not really concerned about this because it's just one of them, but everything else is performing beyond actually what I would expect it to. So this is really, really good. And now what I wanted to do moving into February of 2024 was put in I wanted to put in another $1,400 into VOO, which is this ETF here that's been performing pretty well for me, and it's probably going to be the bulk of this portfolio just because of the historical performance that it has backing it. But what I basically did for February is I bought another 3 shares similar to how I did in January for a total of $4.49 a share, leading to a total amount of $1,347, so nearly $1,400. So all of that with with considering the newest investment into VOO for February, these are basically going to be my projected returns for the end of February in about 3 weeks here. And if you actually kind of look, I'm already beating it out already right now. So there's no, unless something happens to the market, which is very common, I expect my portfolio to be performing pretty well come the end of February. So I do like to show a little bit from the Charles Schwab investment dashboard page, and this is basically the method that I use for a decent amount of my investing. But I always like to go over it, but I don't want to go over everything that we're kind of looking at right now. The important parts basically are like the account value right here, which is basically going to be all the money, cash and investments that's in the account. Cash right here, which is basically the amount of money that I can spend, on investing, which is what I previously did in the Excel sheet that I just showed you. The $1,347 that came out of this amount of money that I transferred in over here. My market value is basically if I would sell everything right now, what I would kind of get for it. Day change is how much what the change was on the day. Cost basis, what I've put in to this portfolio, which I like to always mention, compare the cost basis, which is the amount of money, like I said, that I've put into the account, to what it's basically worth if I would sell, right? There's, a decent amount of difference right here, $14,500, $16,123. So obviously I've made money on this account, right? Which it's not a crazy amount of money, but it's, completely passive, and it's something that's going to help build wealth over the long term. And generally speaking, the more green you see on these different kinds of dashboards and so on, the better you are. Green is good, red is bad. So if you were curious, this is the page right before you buy any kind of stock or ETF. I select, what ETF I'm buying, which is VOO, and it shows the price at which it's going for right now. I want to buy 3 shares of it, the next day, basically, for a total amount of $1,347, and that this is basically just to confirm it here as well. So it's all pretty simple to do. And, as you can see, the portfolio is actually performing pretty well. And this is something that I really just want to continue as best as I can to show you guys, how pretty simple it is to get one of these accounts going and maintain it to, build a lot of long-term wealth. So that concludes this quick episode of The Road to Riches, an amateur's investment journey here on my YouTube channel. As you guys can see, my portfolio is performing above what I would have expected. I do want to do a few bigger investments on the month. The last few months I've been doing $1,500, $1,600, $1,400. But in the near future, in 2024, I want to do another lump sum like I did for the first episode of the series, where I basically threw $10,000 into the portfolio, and I want to do something similar to that sometime in 2024 here, so please stay tuned for that. As always, I hope you were able to find some value in this episode of The Road to Riches, and if you have any questions for me personally, or if you'd like to take a look at the financial services that I can provide to you, I've left my email and a link to my company website in the description box below. As always, thank you so much for your time today, and happy financing.